Hello, brothers and sisters of UAW Local 1166. We'll report out for the week of May the 4th. Before I get into any questions, I want to cover a couple things. As you know, that was put out yesterday that they canceled the 11th and maybe the 18th. Again, management flip-flopped on it. I don't have no problem with putting something out. Once I know something, I'll put it out. If it changes, then we'll go back and change it. But to me, I think that as part of this position is to notify the membership what's going on. And I'd rather not sit on things. I would rather put it out. With that being said, we also had an audit yesterday with corporate. Walked the plant, checked out the areas of concern and interest as far as the turnstiles getting in, the locker rooms, the cafeterias, the satellite break rooms, and all those things. Overall, the corporate safety liked what our trades did. They put a lot of work into it. The only thing I ask of you is please follow the procedures that are in place once you do return, and if there's anything that needs fixed, bring it to our attention and we'll get it addressed. There's also going to be some pictures sent out with this video. If you have any questions on the pictures, get a hold of me or get a hold of one of the standing committee chairs or Hannah or Dwayne, and I'm sure they can address those issues. They did the best they could with the break rooms, and as small as they are, so you'll have to have just a little bit of patience. Again, if there's anything that you think that could work better, let us know and we'll get that put out. Overall, yesterday, the sanitizing stations, the little water coolers that they have in there that they're trying to get rid of the water fountains, the path that you have to walk, the social distancing, footprinting on the floor, all those kind of things. You'll just have to follow those. The cafeteria is the main thing. Once you go to the cafeteria, they're going to expect you to at least make an attempt to wipe down your area. If not, one of the caravan members will go in there and, sort of lack of a better way of saying it, be a busboy kind of speak, or a bus girl. So again, if you go in there, and I brought this up before, if you go in there to eat lunch in the cafeteria, you need to eat in a timely manner and get up and let other people get their lunch. Also, you will still have the ability to go out and leave on your lunch. There's some things that if you have a PAA or 4 hours PAA, when you get to the gate and you haven't checked in the morning, you will have to call the call button for security. Security will have to get your supervisor. He will have to come out there and let you in once he identifies that you've answered a questionnaire and you're fit to return to work. Again, with the pictures, if you have any questions over any of the pictures, let me know. As far as callback, they got enough volunteers to report the week of the 11th. The week of the 18th is going to be a totally different animal, and they're going to start that Monday morning. It's going to be 700 plus to come back to return to work. By the end of June, I think around the June the 22nd is what I've seen, everybody should be back to work. But again, we have to play this, by ear because of the economy and all the things that are happening out there with the federal government, the state, the local. Things change. I mean, there's nothing I can do about the changes. The only thing we can do is once we hear something, we'll put it out and address it as see fit. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the questions. The first question: does the layoff affect your 2020-2021 PIOV entitlement? With that, what they mean by that is if you take you get your vacation, your PAA in May, if you were on sick leave for a number of weeks and it exceeded, let's just say 26, 28 weeks or whatever, and then you include the layoff on that, your pay portion of that is going to drop. So if you've worked 26, you had to have worked 26 or more weeks to get 100% of the pay for vacation. Any week under that, it drops 4 percentage points. So say if you worked 25 weeks, you were off sick leave and part of the layoff, you're only going to get 96% of your pay. Then it drops 4 percentage points for every week that you subtract thereafter. Again, if you have any questions on that, contact your stewards or your committeemen or myself, and I will address that. When will the elections take place? Okay, again, for the elections, the social distancing really had an effect on us. The last time that we heard from UAW President Roy Gamble is we want to hold the elections but they're giving us a 90-day extension to hold the elections. We met with the executive board, and we're gonna have another meeting again because we had to push everything back a month. In June, we still intend to have the elections for the election committee, the nominations and the election. In July will be the general elections. So stay tuned with that. Again, we have to base this on what is going on outside of the, in the world, so to speak. So if that needs to change, hopefully it won't, then we'll have to come up with a different plan. But I think we will have a plan B in place if we do need to do that. So bear with us with the elections. I mean, it is what it is right now. We just have to take what we have in front of us and go with it. Number 3, return to work packets from FCA and KCP, not needed for return to work as long as you have the questionnaire and via the QR code. I know FCA is sending packets out, and some people have been receiving them yesterday. As far as if you did not get to go through the drive-thru to get the packet from the plant, no big deal. They will give you that packet once you return. But as far as FCA, their packet's supposed to have already been sent in the mail, and some have got it, and it's got the temperature strip in it. But if you have any question with that, get with me, and we'll tackle that as needed. Number 4, how much of a notice for return to work date? Again, with everything that changes and it flip-flops, as was yesterday, they canceled it, now it's back on. They were still notifying people today to try to get volunteers. So Monday morning, like I said earlier, Monday morning, they're gonna start canvassing those people for return to work on the week of the 18th. So expect a phone call. Again, that number was 700 plus, and that includes production and skilled. Number 5, are they calling you back to work by seniority for your original shift you were on? Again, the people that they call back for the week of the 11th are all gonna be on day shift to do early startup. Once they start calling people back, as long as you have seniority to maintain that shift that you were on, you will be on that shift. If you don't, if there's too many on one shift, they may put you, if you're lower seniority, on to another shift. And then eventually when everybody gets back, you'll be able to return to your shift. Number 6, once everyone is back to work, will we go back to the same positions and DCMs before we were laid off? Once everything is returned to normal, as best as we can, and everybody returns to work, everybody will go back to the jobs that they had before. Number 7, are we still receiving our pay increase on our seniority date? Yes, if you're due a pay increase on your seniority date, you have to be actually an active role to receive that. So if you were to go back on the 18th, your pay would take effect on the 18th, and it'd be on that next Friday, the following Friday's pay. So make sure you verify that, but again, you have to be on active role to receive a pay increase. Number 8, if you have a vacation scheduled and it was approved, are we still good to go on vacation even if it falls on the day we return? Yes. As long as it's approved, but you still need to notify your supervisors to let them know that, just to remind them that, hey, that was approved, I'm taking my vacation, and everything will be good to go. They cannot deny you once they've already approved your vacation. Number 9, do you go to the bottom of the list if you refuse to return to work? I don't know where that came from. Whenever they do a canvass for the week of the 11th, it goes by seniority. And if somebody declines it, they don't go to the bottom of the list. It's based on seniority. The week of the 18th, again, they'll start at the top. And if we continue on down to the 25th or the 26th, then again, we start at the top. It always goes by seniority. Nobody goes to the bottom of the list. Number 10, the performance award bonus payable the week ending June 14, 2020, will we still receive it if on layoff? The answer is yes, you will still receive that performance award bonus. Again, you need to contact the stewards or the committeemen to find out if you're on sick leave, if you meet that criteria, because it goes 90 days out, and most of the eligibility date is May the 15th, but again, you may need to contact them to make sure that you're still eligible for that. Would you need to report, number 11, would you need to report as income for your unemployment benefits? I can't answer that question yet until International works that out, but normally in the past we have not reported bonuses. But again, I don't want to answer that as yes or no. We need to wait to get clarification from international, and then once I receive that information, I will post that. Number 12, can we donate 100% to 401k? So the donations are different via the last contract. You can donate 100% to 401k, but if you go in and donate that when they pay it out on June the 15th, I believe, I might be wrong on the date. If you go in there and pay that out on June the 14th or 15th, whatever day that is, they normally cut the check the first work week on that month. So you would have to have gone in the first pay period of June to go in there and then donate the 100% to 401k. But if you do that, it's also going to donate 100% of your check. So you need to, if you have any questions over that, again, I would contact James Boyer, 454-1761, and he can answer those questions because all that language did change. Number 13, could those who do not return to work right away be classified as permanent layoff? No. Everybody's in a temporary layoff status. The people that don't return to work, they just remain on temporary layoff and assume their SSB and their sub whenever the additional $600 runs out. Number 14, team leader is listed in their department but under a different classification. That is correct. The team leaders, once they start calling back on the 18th, that is when most of your team leaders will get phone calls to return to assume their jobs. Number 15, are trades still being charged sub-credits? I think I put this out the last video or the video before. Nobody is being charged sub-credits at this time. They've all been restored. And if you look on there and you're minus 1 week or 2 weeks, you need to notify somebody so we can get that fixed. Should trades still file sub? Yes, trades still should file sub. Albeit it might be just $50 or $80 or whatever the case may be, you're still entitled to it, so I would file it. Keep in mind, if you file for sub and it's toward the beginning of the month, that you will still be charged union dues, which is 1 hour that comes out of your check. So keep that in mind as well. Number 17, will vacation and PAA be paid out the same weeks? I'm not sure what that question curtails. If they're talking about the 18th and the 25th payout, correction. 8th and 15th, thank you. The 8th and the 15th payout, we brought that up before. Vacation gets paid out on the 8th. The PAAs get paid out on the 15th. And you do have to claim those. And I'm not telling you to claim them, not to claim them. I'm just giving you the facts that you're supposed to claim any compensation that you receive from the company. Number 18, do we claim the income for both vacation and PAA file for sub both weeks? Yes, once you do claim those, you do go and turn around and file for sub on those weeks. Number 19, when we return to work, will there be someone at the gate or plant entrance handing out masks on a daily basis? The answer is probably not. There will be some additional masks out there, so people who forgot their masks, they were issued the 2 masks. Right now they're having some conversations on how best to work that out. It would behoove them, and Jim Stanley is the one that brought it up, that if we're going to issue masks, we should issue mask 10 on Monday, and that'll get you through 7 days. It makes no sense to keep issuing you a mask, 2 masks, and then you've got the same one for the next day, and you've got it in a brown paper bag or a plastic Ziploc bag. It's best to give you all your stuff you need for the whole week instead of doing this daily. But again, that may change, so once I get more information on that, I will put that out as well. And number 20, how long will they extend our insurance if we have less than a year? That's a good question. The last 2 times they've extended it, if you have a less than a year seniority. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing again. They may be in a temporary. However, keep in mind that intentionally everybody will be back by no later than June the 22nd. That's the date that I'm hearing. So we'll have to play that by ear. So if it comes up toward the end of May, and then that's international, get the corporation, and then we'll figure out whether they're going to extend that or not. And the same goes true with the supplemental employees. So real quick on the supplemental employees, right now there's no, with with the way, and I've been trying to keep contact with supplemental employees and trying to tell them, you know, when will you come to work, what's the status, blah, 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 and all that stuff. But right now, we need to get all the seniority people back in the plant. So once we get all the people established back in the plant, they still have those vacations. So if there's a need, when the people start taking their vacations to get the supplemental employees in there, then those people will be contacted. So have a little patience, and if you have any questions as a supplemental employee, you know you can get with me on the Group Me Act, and I will answer your questions just as soon as you send them. So if you have any questions at all, I will take care of the supplemental employee questions. Any other of the seniority questions that anybody has, please get with your committeeman, Terry King, Steve, Brian Cunningham, or your stewards, and they can answer those questions. Again, once the pictures are posted, if you have any questions on there, if you see something needs improvement, please let us know. I believe that's about it, but I look forward to seeing everybody next week and the week after. I hope you remain safe, and please respect others. If you don't believe in what is going on, that's fine. Keep your opinion to yourself, but we have to respect those